So we talked about the fact that last night Saquon Barkley just excited the whole NFL world, minus the Giant fans, of what he did against the Rams Sunday Night Football. Got like 300 to some odd yards of offense.
More yards on offense than the Giants as a whole
like
collective.
3 times as much, by the way. It's like that bad. But, it's not just him. And we got to talk about ex-Giants having success elsewhere because it's everywhere, guys. It's everywhere in the NFL.
We see what you did there, ex-Giants.
But we jettisoned guys off. We jettisoned guys off that supposedly couldn't play football, supposedly weren't worth bigger contracts, and they're all succeeding. Now, I will say this. I don't want to play revisionist history. I'm not upset all of them are gone. I'm not. And the first one we're going to talk about, obviously, is Saquon Barkley. And I'm not upset he's gone still. And I know I'm going to get some slack potentially for that. I would still rather, because we're not ready to win right now, guys. You don't win with a guy who's, a late 20s running back at that point there when you're building. But you can do it with a fourth-round pick that's on a rookie deal that's doing, even if it's 2/3 what Saquon is, it's still a better value for your team at that point. So I'm not upset we lost him. But the guy was, goes to the Philadelphia now. He's got a career-high 1,392 yards rushing already. He's got 6 games left to go, guys. He's already had a career high. Leads the NFL in rushes, rushing yards per game, yards per carry, touches, and yards from scrimmage. He is the best running back in the league currently, guys.
Yeah, I mean, we call that he's good ball, but my God.
Yeah. The main reason I bring him up is not oh my God, I wish we had Saquon still. It's, oh my God, we had that guy. And he didn't do nearly this much. And it just shows the ineptitude of this team overall. Again, we've said it ad nauseum before because Saquon Barkley, that topic keeps coming up because how well he's doing. But it's like he's got better weapons around him, better offensive line, better scheming, blah, 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 blah. Everything better around him. We hate to say that about the Eagles, but it's the truth, guys. Let's not BS it. Let's call it like it is.
And the Eagles past 7-8 games, they won 7 out of the past 8 games?
Yeah.
Like they've been playing good football.
Huge. And he's been a huge part of it. Huge part of it.
Yep.
Then you go to Xavier McKinney. And we're told, we can't spend that money on a safety. Can't spend that money on a safety. Well, that safety is now tied for the lead with 6-7 interceptions, guys. By the way, that's 7 times as many as the Giants have in the season.
Oh.
The math is not difficult for you to figure out. That means we have more. Again, a guy that is succeeding elsewhere. He's at an all-pro level at this point, guys. He's playing better for the Packers than he ever played for the Giants. And it's not not like in New York. He, by all accounts, actually went back to Shane and said, here's my best offer. Will you match it? I want to be a Giant. And Shane turned him down.
It's true.
I like that we got Tyler Newman. I'm not anti-Jason Pinnock. But don't tell me you guys wouldn't love to have a guy with 7 interceptions right now on this team.
Yeah.
And you could say, it's the line. It's the line. No, it's not the line. We could have moved money around with the other guys and kept him and Saquon both if we wanted to, guys, without affecting how we got that. If you really want to say who we could have potentially not gotten, it wasn't the line. It was Brian Burns. That's the guy we might not have gotten. That's the truth. Yeah. We gave $30 million to a guy who never got double-digit sacks before.
Yep.
That's the truth of the matter. Then you got Julian Love, who we didn't re-sign a couple of years ago. He's now in his 2nd year as a Seattle Seahawk. He's got Pro Bowl on his resume from last year. 76.4 PFF grade this year. Who wouldn't love to have this guy? Again. Yeah. Leonard Williams, we traded him to the Seahawks as well. 77.8 PFF grade, guys. He's got 9 sacks in 20 games as a Seahawk. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. From a defensive tackle position, there's not a lot of guys who can sit there saying they average about half a sack a game from the defensive tackle position. That's a lot. That's a lot there. You got Sterling Shepard, who we saw there this past game. He's been a serviceable backup wide receiver. We could use that. We don't really have that on our roster. We got the big three in, Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton, and Wan'Dale Robinson. We don't got much behind him, guys.
Nope.
Don't tell me Shep wouldn't be a good fourth receiver right now. Now, we all thought that Shep was going to be a guy who, would not be around this year because all the injuries. We didn't have access to his medical history, obviously, and stuff like that. Well, the Bucs took a shot, and it seems to be working for him. You got Ben Bredeson. Started all 11 games for the Bucs so far at guard. We just saw him again yesterday, too. 0 sacks allowed in 710 snaps, guys. Matt Peart. Remember Matt Peart? Matt Peart was one of the crappiest looking offensive linemen to ever wear a Giants uniform. I remember a couple of years ago, he was in a preseason game, and he couldn't even guard a corner. A corner got past his block. He's now the third tackle for the Broncos. He's got a 68.0 PFF grade, 162 snaps in 12 games. Playing a lot better than you ever would see. Yeah, John Feliciano. He's been the IR this year, but 10 starts last year with the 49ers, including the Super Bowl. A'Shawn Robinson's got 10 starts this year for the Panthers, 35 tackles, 3 sacks, and a forced fumble. And we got Tyrod Taylor we talked about before. Hasn't seen success with the Jets there at that point because he hasn't seen the field. But a veteran quarterback. How much would we love having a guy like Tyrod Taylor on this team right now? That'd be absolutely amazing. Think about it. In the last 2 years, that's all I'm doing right now. The last 2 years, we've given up on the best running back in the league, an all-pro safety, a Pro Bowl safety, probably a top 15 defensive tackle, I guess it's probably safe to say, with Leonard Williams, a good reserve wide receiver, a starting guard, a third tackle, a starting center, a defensive tackle that is decent against the run, and a veteran quarterback, all jettisoned in a 2-year process. How many of those guys would you love to have on this roster right now? How many of them? I know a lot of y'all would like having Saquon. Like I said, he's the one I'll give you kind of the asterisk on because of the age and the contract at that point there. But the way he's playing right now, of course, if you can tell me I can have him right now on this roster without any issues later on, yeah, take him right now, of course, in a heartbeat. Who wouldn't? Don't tell me I wouldn't take McKinney, Julian Love, Leonard Williams.
Hands down.
This roster, we talk about how much better this roster is in the last couple of years under Joe Shane. All these guys I listed, we would take in a heartbeat, guys. In an absolute heartbeat. And it's kind of sad to think about it because we have these guys. We think the roster was good enough. Now we wish we could have these guys back.
Shows you the progression.
It's bad. It's bad, guys.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.